Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. I've been hinting at this and showing samples on Instagram for a while now. This is a 3D printed 3x3. And I'm going to go through some struggles with it, how it performs, some things that I didn't do that I planned on doing. It's not, I would say, 100% finished for a couple of reasons. I guess I'll go through that first and then I'll explain the whole process. The two things is one is magnets. There are slots for magnets. I was told it fits 4x2 N35, so I ordered some 4x2 N35s because I didn't have enough. And they're a little bit too big. I tried to fit them in here and they kind of fit, but not quite. And so I think I need to either like stretch out the plastic or make it a little bit wider. And so instead of spending a ton of time trying to get every single one of these to fit, I want to kind of show you how it was for right now. So I'm going to, in the future, do that and hopefully get all this put together so I have like a finalized product. The other one, and this is an issue that I found with the cube, is that the centers stick out just a little bit. It doesn't seem too bad right here. Maybe the white side, you can see it a little bit more. Just a little bit. It kind of sticks out. You can feel it. And there's two models of this one. I didn't design it. It was designed by someone else, and I'll put a link to their STL file where you can download it and print it yourself. And there's one that uses a Valk core and one that uses a GAN core. So I did the Valk core because although I have extras of both, I just felt like that'd be a little bit easier. And yeah, these stick out just a little bit. So if I take the cap off, screw, everything fits fine. That's the spring and screw and core from the Valk. I think all I need to do is maybe sand just a little bit down from here. What's happening is it's catching just a little bit more in that center because it's slightly higher up. So if I take the cap off and do the exact same thing, it cuts pretty much fine. So that's kind of stopping a little bit. If you know anything about cube history of things that have happened, the GAN 356V1 had a similar issue, not where the caps were raised, but where the caps were causing it to catch a little bit. And so the V2 had the circular design. Now, this doesn't actually have a circular design in the cap, but I used the GAN stickers, and these stickers are from SpeedCube Shop, so definitely check those out. Okay, couple things. Also, warning, my printer is one that extrudes filament. It's not a resin printer, so you will see lines, which also means you're going to hear a lot of scratching sounds. I'm going to try to mute those sounds a little bit in the video, but just warning, some people don't mind it. Some people feel like it is nails on a chalkboard, but okay. So we take these caps off and I'm going to use the rest of it like that just because how it's catching with those caps on it. And I want to show you this, what the product looks like, what the cube is like before I start doing any modifications. So hopefully the designer, if it's an issue that maybe I did something wrong, let me know. But if not, you know, maybe they can adjust it. So how does it perform? Well, also tensions are okay. They're a little tight. I found the feet on the corners slightly small. Let me show you the pieces. It's similar between like a Valk and a GAN. So we have this here, and here is the corner piece. So yeah, and they fit in really nicely. But you can see the lines from my printer. But I haven't actually done any sanding of these pieces. There's been no sanding at all. So this is, I put a lot of lubrication. You can see how shiny it is, but there's no lubrication or no sanding of it. So this actually performs really well without sanding. With that said, let me actually show you how it performs. And like I said, I'm going to keep the caps off because that's one issue that's happening. So you'll have to treat it like it's a void cube right now. So it performs great. There's a little bit of catching on those centers. Corner cutting, it's going to get close to 45, but once I get to 45, it kind of gets stuck there. But other than that, even M slices are pretty good. How's it weight-wise? So as far as fill, I think I did like 10 or 20% fill. So it's not actually, there's not a lot of filament inside of the pieces. It's about 5 to almost 10 grams heavier than a Valk 3. So it's using the same core, but a little bit heavier with the filament. Depending on, you know, how big the walls are and the infill, that will change. So let's go through a solve. I'm going to try to just speed solve this CFOP and then speed solve it through without the caps on. That might make it slightly easier, but also probably going to confuse me a little bit because I have nothing to gauge from. Let me do a CFOP solve. I'm going to move a little bit so I can actually see the puzzle. Okay, and I'll try to not move it from here. Okay, so I got some catching there. Let's try some roux. Oh, there we go. Nope. There it is. I don't know what I did wrong there. Okay. So as you see, it works fairly well. Would it ever be something I'd use at a competition? Probably not. I don't know if it's the design that could be tweaked a little bit, if it's that I printed it on with filament and it's not perfectly smooth all the way around. It could be springs, other things being adjusted. Maybe using the GAN one would be a little bit different. But I'm really happy with just how this turned out. Something that I could 3D print at home and then use it. Now, what would be the cost of this? Let's see here. As far as filament, so I used a little bit extra filament, so it was more stable on the bottom. I created a raft, which some people were questioning why I did that. Well, I did anyways. I would say as far as the cost of what filament is and how much weight was printed, it was about $2 worth of filament that was used. Now I do have, you would need like the core and the springs. I'm sure you could 3D print a core, but the springs, it wouldn't really work. So that is a little bit different. I don't know how you do that. Maybe you could, try to jerry rig something with some pen springs and other stuff, but it was about $2 worth of filament to print. We're going to ignore the cost of anything else to get to this point. So that's about it. There's not really much else to show with this. I'm definitely going to tweak it a little bit, sanding that down to flatten it out, put some magnets in. Magnets will fit in there. Maybe, if you had 4x2 that were of a cheaper quality that had, I don't know, maybe these ones are slightly larger than 4 millimeters. My caliper is being used by my wife right now, so I can't really measure it. Now, if you do 3D print one or have any other puzzle or anything you think I should do, let me know. I would love to check those out. I'd love to print them. I'm having so much fun with this thing. I've had some people print the stands, and also I posted on Instagram. One of my stands works fantastically well as a Megaminx stand. So if you want a stand for a Megaminx, I've got one for you. There you go. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.